right. Good morning, my dear friends. Welcome to day 4 of our breath by breath session, where we are learning and practicing Anapanasati meditation in a step-by-step manner. And we've learned several things in the last 3 days. We learned the right posture, the right way of breathing, and one technique of relaxation, which is equal breathing. All right. And we also learned what mindfulness is. Again, for those of you here, can someone type, someone who's not already attempted yesterday, type in the formula for mindfulness. What do we mean by mindfulness? Type in the chat window, please. What is mindfulness? What did we learn about mindfulness? There are 3 components to mindfulness. Excellent. Attention plus awareness plus non-judgment. Wonderful. So we are practicing that. We are practicing that every day through our breathfulness meditation session between 6 and 7 a.m. IST. How to be attentive. How are we getting attention? Attention is attention on the nose or attention on the breath at different points, whatever. Right now we are practicing attention on the entrance to the nose or tip of the nose. And we are trying to understand anytime attention deviates, then we are becoming aware of it and bringing the attention back to our breath. Right? And then our awareness. We are aware of all the sensations here. We are aware of any deviations in attention. We are aware of any distraction and bring your attention back here. And third thing is not judging. We are not judging, oh my God, I'm not able to feel the breath. I am getting these thoughts. What should I do about it? Right? So no judgment, just observe. Observation is not thinking. Yesterday we learned that. So observation is just witnessing, looking without thoughts, seeing without thoughts. That is all. That is all we mean by observation, right? So that's what we are learning. So yesterday we did, I think, for 40 minutes. Today also we'll probably do for something like 40 to 45 minutes, and over time we'll get it to 50 minutes, right? So this is like the practice session for mindfulness. I keep taking the analogy of a net practice. Cricket, they practice. Football, there are practice matches. Why are we practicing this 45 minutes? So that we are mindful every day, every moment during the day. This is like a net practice for us to be mindful during the game of our life in each day. So when we go to work, when we travel somewhere, when we take the bus or car or two-wheeler to the workplace, or at home. If I'm a student, I'm studying. If I'm a homemaker doing works at home. So we can be mindful in all these aspects. Yesterday we learned how to do mindful eating. Similarly, you can do any chore, any work mindfully. Full attention, awareness about distractions, and then not judging anything. So that's the whole point of mindfulness meditation. Why are we doing mindfulness meditation? So that we are mindful of whatever we do during the day. So today we will again practice the same thing. But before that, yesterday there were some people who were talking about some experiences. And so what I'm going to do is we'll just quickly talk about the usual experiences of meditation in meditation. And then we'll cover about the different states in meditation before we dive into our practice for today. All right. So what are the typical experiences during meditation? So there are several experiences I'll quickly cover. So some of you might feel your body becoming light during meditation. Some of you might feel it is heavy. Some of you have felt temperature variation. Sometimes they feel that body cold, body warm, sweating, and then there's kind of a body movement. Some body movements will happen in advanced states of meditation, right? So going back and forth or turning like this. So you'll feel that joy, you'll feel that bliss of movement, right? So bodily experiences are possible, and auditory experiences, like some of you might be hearing some strange bells, drums, music that you are familiar with, or some kind of buzzing, hissing. Some people in deep meditation also feel sounds of ocean waves, waterfalls, nature sounds outside of the music, right? They will hear something not existent. So again, they're all like auditory experiences. And other sensory experiences, some people might feel some fragrances, some smell, the taste in mouth, the dryness in mouth, the tingling of skin, right? Creeping movements up the spine, which is your energy flow. And sometimes your breath patterns change, right? Sometimes it becomes fast, sometimes slowly becomes slow, right? After a while, when you get some thought, it'll become this thing. Dryness of mouth or excess saliva, feeling of breeze. You'll suddenly feel, oh, there's a breeze coming in while there's no breeze. Dryness of mouth and excess saliva, right? So all that is why we say drink water before sitting for meditation. And some people will get some emotional experiences. They get into deep joy. Some people will have like crying or tears, laughing for no reason. They're smiling the whole day. Throat chakra experiences. Yesterday, someone reported, right? So involuntary yawning, sighing, burping, coughing, all these are possible when you continue to practice your deep meditation. Suddenly you feel yawning. You keep on during a whole meditation, you keep on yawning. You feel sleepy, right? So all these are again experiences that are coming up, surfacing up from your body and psyche, and a whole set of mind experiences. Yesterday we saw somebody, right? Pain, tingling, itching, pulsing in the forehead. Some visions, white dots, different colors, stars, signs, darkness behind the closed eyes disappearing. You feel everything white, seeing brilliant lights, colors, visions of deities. You might see the vision of your favorite deity, right? So a lot of people say Sai Baba came, Mahavatar Babaji came, and the scenes of nature, snapshots of events, something that happened long ago or something that happened recently. Suddenly that event will come to your memory. And some people have tunnel experiences as if they're going through a tunnel. Some people have past life experiences, out of body experiences. All these are possible when you're doing meditations in a high energy environment, right? When you come to Pyramid Valley, places like Pyramid Valley, and then go into deep meditation, like 2 hours, 3 hours, then sometimes you get some of these, especially in the mega pyramid. And healing experiences are possible. Losing consciousness of body, again, very advanced stages. We look at insight. Yesterday we talked about the benefits, right? And the fifth one was insight and transcendence. So that is when these experiences happen. Losing awareness of sound from outside, losing awareness of time, complete stillness, and receiving wisdom and insight. When your mind calms down, then you start receiving insight, start receiving wisdom. You get some clarity on whether what you're doing is right or wrong. You get clarity on some decisions. All these are insight experiences. So there are a lot of these experiences: bodily, emotional, mind experiences, insight experiences. So what do we do about it? And then again, all these are not a must for everybody. Experiences differ. For example, I've been meditating for the last 22 years or 21 years since I started Anapanasati meditation. I've never got many of these experiences, very few, maybe insight and maybe some kind of peace and silence. But I've never seen lights, I've never seen auditory signals, right? I've never felt any emotional experiences, so all that. So, and then that's when I asked Patriji, oh my God, a lot of people keep saying that lot of experiences. I've not been getting it. Am I not doing meditation right? He said, no, not everyone need to get meditation experiences. It depends on your psyche. It depends on your past life situations or your current life situation. So experiences are not a must. Do not glamorize experiences. Oh my God, I saw wonderful lights today. I saw Krishna coming and playing flute to me in my meditation. And then immediately the other person will go, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Krishna, why did you not come in my meditation? Right? So do not glamorize experiences. Do not crave for certain experiences. Do not dislike certain experiences. That is another nature of impermanence that we will learn through meditation. No two meditations are the same. For example, yesterday meditation was wonderful, blissful, joyful. You don't sit today, oh my God, I need to get that experience. Then, like Buddha says, you're craving for something, the experiences will not come. And similarly, yesterday I had a very horrible time. I was fighting some crazy, cruel, scary thoughts during meditation. Today I'm very afraid to sit in meditation. Again, it is not possible. You'll get a repeat of yesterday. So don't crave for certain experiences that you got or someone has or you heard. Similarly, don't dislike certain experiences that you got. The experiences are never permanent. All you need to do is just observe, experience, and let go. Observe, experience. You observe the experience like you're observing your thoughts, observing your breath. Oh, okay, this is fine. And then let go of it. No analysis. Do not judge. Do not analyze. Oh, I've got this. Does it mean something? I've got a pain, even pains. I've got a pain in my back. I've got pain in my chest. Does it indicate something? Nothing. So all these experiences are because the energy flows continue in your body, right? And then lot of the stress in your body, a lot of the emotional trauma in our bodies disappear slowly. As they disappear, it results in certain set of energy movements, which kind of give rise to some emotions, physical sensations as well as emotions, right? So that's what we mean. Do not judge, do not analyze, just go beyond these experiences. That's very important, right? And what is important in a meditation setting? Sitting. It's not important. You don't measure your meditation by the kinds of experiences you got or not got. So what is important is continuous attention to your breath. As you continuously focus on your breath, you feel energy flows across your body. Then you get a feeling of joy and rapture, bliss. And then you get into a feeling of peace, silence, and emptiness. All that matters is that emptiness. All that matters is that silence, stillness in your mind. So, according to scriptures, both Patanjali and Vedic scriptures and Buddha, this is how any of our meditations, deep meditations progress. Different people call it different names. So, a lot of us beginning meditation this session, what we are doing is we are in step one for the first couple of days. We are focusing our attention, but then we are getting distracted through thoughts or something else, and we are bringing our attention back to breath. So, bringing attention at will, continuous attention. So attention goes, then you bring it back, goes, bring it back, goes, bring it back. And then slowly, when you're able to continuously observe your breath, focus your attention at your nose or wherever we tell you, when you're able to focus on it for at least 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, then you are in state two, engaging with the breath continuously for longer time. Then you have to pat your back. Yes, I progressed in meditation. First 2 days, I was not able to focus on my breath. Now I'm able to focus on my breath. And then slowly, that is the state you'll be in. Once you start observing your breath for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, then you'll slowly start sensations in your body. We'll also do an exercise probably on Saturday, where we will go into a Saturday or Sunday, where we will go into what do you call as body scan meditation, which will free up the energy pathways in your body. So feeling energy currents, then you start feeling the joy, meditative joy. And then once you be with joy, you'll continue the same practice, not crave for that bliss, not crave for the happiness. Then you go into that peace, sukha, absolute peace, and that peace will carry you outside of meditation, outside of the practice as well. Your whole day will be absolutely peaceful. You'll see some big, heavy noise, heavy rock lifted off your head, right? And then as you continue your deep sadhana meditation, you get into those empty mind states, what we call as absorption, samadhi states. And those are the states you continue, some of you, depending on how diligent you are in practicing and how long you practice, how many times you practice. These are the states of jhana that Buddha says. Absolutely no possibility of thought. You don't even think that, okay, what are you doing? No perception of time. So five senses are totally shut off. Doesn't matter. You can even meditate in the midst of your house with a lot of sounds going around. You can meditate peacefully in a bus, in a moving bus or a car with sounds around, right? So you don't care, all the senses are shut off, you just go into the deep state. So this is our chart. This is our progress report for us. All right, so that's what we need to be focusing on. So, and we will go into these steps as well. This is we are working on the focusing step, and then we go into the following and flowing. So, one thing I'd want to kind of show you. Okay, so today we will also learn something about connecting. Um, some of you probably saw that picture. So today we'll do the same process, 10 minutes of equal breathing so that we finish the warm up, right? And then 30 minutes of focusing your attention at your nose. And again, no serious, strong focus, just relaxed focus. And when you do that, try to observe your breath. So there is a start of your inhale, then the end of your inhale, then your exhale starts, then your exhale ends. So connect these 4 points. This is called connecting. Keep connecting, right? So when you do that, again, your mind becomes occupied. I'll just quickly show you where that is. Yes. So it's like this. So our breath starts, there is a beginning of in-breath, a ending of in-breath, beginning of out-breath, and ending of out-breath. Try to see as you sit in meditation, focus your attention on your nostrils, then see when you're able to notice the start, the end, start and end, start, end, start, end, right? So when you continue to observe, then you get greater attention, stronger attention at your nose. All right. So with that, let's dive into our practice for today. Just like yesterday, so we'll do 10 minutes of equal breathing and 30 minutes of meditation before we try to see. And after that, we'll talk about the neuroscience, what happens in our brain and body when we sit just observing our breath. All right, my dear friends. So let's get into the posture. Remove your spectacles. Clasp your fingers. Cross your feet at your ankles. Sit in a straight, comfortable posture. Hopefully, some of you are practicing the right posture, sitting on a higher pillow, or if you're sitting on a chair, making sure comfortable with your back. Let's begin the process of equal breathing. Relax into yourself. Feel your body relaxed. Slowly start the process of equal, long, easy, smooth inhale and exhale. Breathe in long, easy, smooth. Do not hold. Breathe out long, easy, smooth. And as you breathe in and out, count in your mind 1, 2, 3, 4. As you breathe out, count in your mind 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you do that, observe the movements in your stomach frequently so that you know you are breathing right. You're bringing your body, your mind, and breath into alignment. This is the warm-up for our practice of breathfulness meditation. No strain, no pain in any part of your body or your mind. Just easy, soft, and smooth breathing. Conscious breathing for the first 10 minutes. Continue to do your equal breathing. Do not entertain any distractions. As you breathe in, count 1, 2, 3, 4. As you breathe out, count 1, 2, 3, 4. Be aware of the movements in your stomach. Be conscious of your counting. Feel the joy of breathing in long, breathing out long. This is not deep breathing. This is long breathing. Long, smooth, slowly. Three more minutes of equal breathing. Feel your body relaxing. Feel your mind calming down. Feel your breath. And as you breathe in and breathe out consciously, you're activating your vagus nerve through conscious breathing and whenever you are aware of your breathing. This is the warm-up step for our daily practice. Mind, body, breath warm-up. Awareness warm-up. Keep your body relaxed. Now, slowly move your attention to the entrance of your nose and start observing your normal breath. Let go of conscious breathing. Stop your counting. Start observing your breath at the entrance to your nose, at the tip of your nose, on your upper lip. Only that point should be in your awareness for the next 25 minutes. Without straining your forehead or your eyes, just feel whatever is happening at the entrance to your nose as you breathe in normally, naturally. If you don't feel anything, so be it, but keep watching, keep looking for that sensation. Continue to be watching for the breath sensation at the entrance to your breath. After a while, in case you are still bothered by distractions, you can apply the techniques of labeling, counting that we saw yesterday, or connecting if you're able to feel your breath. Attention is the basic necessity for any work that we do. One pointed, focused attention. So that is what we are learning with this step of focusing. Continue to be a watchman at the entrance to your nose, my dear friends. Just observe your breath flowing in and out of your nose. Your mind distracts you. The moment you are aware that you are not focusing on your breath at your nose, that's a good sign. Bring your attention back to your nose and observe your breathing. Labeling is labeling a thought with some word and getting back to your breath. Counting is counting your in-breath or out-breath, counting your every breath till 10 and resuming from 1 to 10. In case you get lost in between, start again from 1 to 10. Total focus only at your nose. You are not aware of any other part of your body or anything happening outside. Keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your forehead relaxed, keep your eyes and eyebrows relaxed. Sit and enjoy the feeling of your breath going in and out of your nose. That is all. If you don't feel your breath as much, do not bother. You're still doing it right. As your attention deepens and awareness expands, you'll be able to feel the sensation. And that comes through practice. Continue to observe your breath. Please apply any of the techniques if you are being distracted too much. Feel the joy and peace of a silent mind. We're all doing wonderful. Continue to be in that calm, stable posture. 15 more minutes of being with your breath at your nose. See if you are able to find the start of your inhale, end of your inhale, start of your exhale and end of your exhale. That means deep and close observation of your breath. Wonderful, my dear friends. Continue to enjoy the feeling of attention and focus. Enjoy the peace and emptiness inside you. One pointed focus of attention at your nose and awareness of your breathing without judging, analyzing anything that is happening or not happening. Excellent. Keep your body relaxed. Continue to observe your breath at your nose. 10 more minutes, my dear friends. We are not straining ourselves. We are not chanting any mantra. We are developing attention and focus by observing one small point or area at the entrance to your nose or inside your nose. Feel the peace, feel the emptiness in your head. Eight more minutes of practicing attention through observing your breath at your nose. Wonderful. Continue to be with your breath. See if you are able to identify the start of in-breath, end of in-breath, start of your exhale, out of end of your exhale. This keeps happening every breath cycle. And between your in-breath and your out-breath, there is a small gap of a few microseconds. last 5 minutes of today's practice of breathfulness. Continue to be focused. Continue to be with your breath. Last 3 minutes. Wonderful, my dear friends. With that feeling of focus, with that feeling of peace and emptiness, Now slowly move your attention to your heart region. Feel grateful, feel thankful for the state of mind and body you are in right now. Say thank you to yourself for making time and sitting in this practice of breathfulness meditation. Feel grateful to the wisdom of all the masters, the universe, and all the people around you. With that feeling of lightness and the feeling of gratitude, now let's slowly emerge from our meditation session for today, my dear friends. Slowly become aware of your body, become aware of the room you are in. Slowly unclasp your fingers. Place your palms on your eyes for a few seconds and open when you're ready. Wonderful. How many of you felt a bit of a progress from yesterday or the day before? Please type yes. How do we measure progress? We measure progress by your ability to stay on your breath for a longer duration. That is our next state in our meditation progress, as we saw. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that we are doing the right things in this series or session. Super. So that is all. Practice makes man perfect, man and woman perfect. So let's continue the practice. And tomorrow we're going to the step 2. As you know, there are 3 steps in breathfulness meditation that we are doing. First is focusing, which is what we are focusing here. Tomorrow we will start off with following our breath. I'll tell you what, the breath flows through different parts. So we'll expand our awareness from here to the lungs and the abdomen. And then the next step we will practice next week is called flowing with the breath. You'll feel your breath flowing throughout your body. For that, we're going to do that exercise of body scan on Sunday. So then your body will still feel sensitized to a lot of energy. All right. So thank you. And how many of you were able to practice mindful eating yesterday? That was the exercise for yesterday. You can type yes on the chat window, or if you want, you can share your experience when you open up at the end of the session. You practiced mindful eating. How was it? Was it different? That's Buddhists call it as another meditation. There's another exercise we will do, mindful walking, maybe tomorrow. So that's also a walking meditation. This is eating meditation. At times when you are not able to sit in a practice of meditation like this, you can bring mindfulness to your everyday activities like eating, having food silently. That itself is meditation because you are practicing the same 3 things: attention, awareness, non-judgment when you are eating. And similarly, you can do when you're walking. Similarly, you can do when you're listening. We'll go through those exercises. So today again, please continue to practice mindful eating. If you tried breakfast or lunch, try a different, of course, you can continue doing it, but try a different different meal, I keep talking about mindfully drinking coffee. Right? To me, coming from having been in Chennai for a long time, so all of us know what is Chennai famous for. So coffee. How do you drink coffee mindfully? So you can feel the heat of the coffee, you can feel the taste of the coffee, you can feel the smell of the coffee, right? And you can also feel the sound of the coffee, the way you're drinking, and completely mindful without judgment. I used to judge coffees to be good and bad, but I no longer do. And anyway, now my craving for coffee has disappeared. So you can apply mindfulness to anything that you're doing, right? So enjoy your drinking and eating mindfully, and that itself is another meditation. All right. So today we'll quickly look at the neuroscience of where is it? Of meditation. Yesterday we spoke about a lot of benefits. This is what happens, right? Now we said it brings in relaxation, it brings in healing, it brings in insights, right? There are changes to your brain. So how does it all happen? Is the topic for today's brief scientific session. So neuroscience of breathfulness, all of us know we have the nervous system. There is an autonomic nervous system that does things by itself, right? So what drives the nervous system? Our breathing drives the nervous system. I already spoke about how our breathing impacts our lungs, and then the right way of breathing gives the right amount of oxygen at different parts of our body needs, like your stomach, like your heart, like your digestive system, your immune system, right? So similarly, our breathing is what drives the entire nervous system. And psychologists and neuroscientists talk about our body being in two states. When we are relaxed, our parasympathetic nervous system is activated. That is characterized by slow and deep breathing, slower heart rate, stimulated digestion, building up of your immune system. That all happens when we are resting, rest and digest. When we are stressed, that is when our sympathetic nervous system gets activated. It is also called the fight or flight mode. This is about increased breathing. When you are anxious, when you are running away from that boss that you don't want to see, when you are running away from that, or when you are stressed out about that difficult conversation you're going to have with your parent, your in-law, or your child, or your spouse, you feel your heart beating faster, right? So that is when you are in stressed mode, heart beating faster, increased breath rate. So in a fight or flight mode, your body is preparing only to fight or flee from that place, or freeze. There's another mode called freeze. Freeze is when you you want to express an emotion, anger or regret or sadness, but you're not able to do that in that situation. That's when your energy gets frozen in one part of your body, usually your heart. So in all these modes, the body is naturally built, because when you want to fight or run away from a place, your breathing rate accelerates and your muscle and your energy goes to your muscles, your leg muscles and your hand muscles and your heart, so that you're able to run from that particular place, right? So that is a time when energy doesn't go through your digestive system, energy doesn't go through your immune system, energy doesn't go to your reproductive system. These are all secondary activities which are not needed for you to run or fight. So that should happen ideally only through your stress mode, right? The evolution built that stress mode in our ancestors millions of years ago for them to run away from dangers at that time. Could be wild animals in the forest, could be lightning, could be beasts, right? So that is when people used to fight or fly, or run away, and automatically the body evolved it that way. And after the danger went away, bodies came back to rest and digest mode. That is the ideal way of working. Today, we don't have the danger of a beast or something, but it could be your boss, it could be your parent, it could be your spouse, it could be your kid, or it could be a situation that you do not want, which activates that same response, fight or flight, right? And that causes our body always lives in that, our body keeps getting bathed in that stress hormones. And what happens when we are in fight or flight or survival mode? So the body has a mechanism of making cells, making proteins that are the building blocks of our body, right? So for example, everything is a protein. For example, your hair color is determined by a protein. Your digestive system, your digestion happens through enzymes, which are the kind of proteins. Right? Proteins control our immune system, our digestive system, our cardiac system, our bodily structure, the color of skin, the color of hair, everything. How do proteins get manufactured? Proteins get manufactured through DNA or gene regulation, upregulation or downregulation. How do genes get activated? They are they get the right amount of genes, or the cells or the get activated when they get the right signal. If they get a bad signal, stressful signal, they generate the bad proteins or weaker genes. If you get a right signal, they generate the right genes. For example, there are genes that upregulate generate the right amount of insulin in our blood. And if those genes don't fire, then the amount of insulin in your blood drops, which results in other illnesses, right? And what triggers the right neurochemicals to trigger the right genes? It is our brain. The brain sends the signals. And what signals the brain is our thoughts. So our thoughts regulate or initiate certain neural networks that generate some neurochemicals that flow through our body's bloodstream. And then at the right point, your pancreas, your stomach, or your heart receives that signal through the neurochemical and triggers the right genes for it to generate the right proteins. This is how it works. And when we are stressful, disappointed, frustrated, our brain generates the stress hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, which has a different impact on our body. When you are relaxing, it's different. When you're relaxing, it generates the pain relieving hormone, it generates the sleep hormone, it generates the action hormone, right? And decreases the bad hormones. That is what is called the relaxation response. Our body always in this two mode: stress response, trying to flee away, trying to go into that meeting that you don't like, trying to go into situations that you don't like. It's always stress response. And when you are with yourself, when you are listening to music, when you are with your loved ones, when you are doing work that you love to do, right, your body is in that relaxed state, which is producing the right hormones. So this is one part of it. And then what activates the relaxation response? Just conscious awareness of your breathing. And that stress resilience increases, activate the relaxation response, your breath recharges your nervous system. So that is why anytime you're feeling stressed, just bringing your attention to your breathing lets go of that stress. If you're able to do it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, more the merrier, right? And then you can practice that equal breathing as well, that allows your right amount of oxygen to flow through. And this is one cause for dramatic healing and rejuvenation. Some of the benefits that we spoke yesterday happens because when you are with your breath, you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest, the right neurochemicals flow through your body, and you are allowing your body to heal by naturally by using the right hormones, right proteins. The second thing that happens is changes in our brain, right? So there are these three major parts of our brain. The bottom part, the reptilian part, is responsible for all our autonomous functions like breathing, heart beating, right? Your blood circulating. You don't even worry about it. They're all happening normally, right? So this is the red part of it. And then the brown part of it is responsible for all our thinking functions. Like you see here, there are different parts of our brain. One is responsible for motion, one is responsible for hearing, one is responsible for seeing, one is responsible for feeling, and then the frontal part is responsible for thinking. And the middle part, which is the limbic system, it's also called the emotional brain, right? So that is responsible for memory, that's responsible for all our emotions, that is responsible for regulation of sleep, reaction versus responding and all that. But that is also the major culprit that is responsible for noise in our head. All the chatter, oh, you can't do this. Oh, I am afraid of doing this. I don't know what other people will think. Oh, this is not the right way to do. See, that guy has done it much better than you. All that complaints, all that noises come from this limbic system. In meditation, what happens is this limbic system dies down, slowly silences. We talked about insula, we talked about amygdala, we talked about hypothalamus. So all these contribute to some of the benefits that we spoke about yesterday. These all become deactivated. Usually they're very active. Slowly they become deactivated. That is when we are not reacting, we are responding. We don't, with that silence in our mind, that emptiness in our mind is because this becomes silence. When that becomes silent, automatically the energy that used to be spent and activate that active chatting moves to the front part of the brain, which is our thinking, which is our deciding brain, which is our insight brain. All right. The other thing that happens is all parts of our brain function coherently. Right? Brain coherence happens in deep concentration. Today we've been practicing that deep attention, right? When you are in the deep concentration, completely focused on your eating, completely focused on your breathing, right? Then all parts of your brain work in a harmony. So this is what happens. This is basically the different parts of your brain or the different lines. So here it's very zigzagged. Here is it, you can see there is a harmony in how different parts work. Continuous attention on the breath builds concentration, which is what we are doing today. And similarly, there is also something called a heart and brain coherence. So this happens whenever we are in positive emotions like appreciation, joy, gratitude. You see this pattern at the bottom. When you are in a different state of anger, jealousy, regret, right, annoying, frustration, then your heart rate, the rate at which your heart beats is uneven, right? So heart rate variability, HRV, you can go research. HRV is measured by plotting your heart rate at different times. It ideally follows a pattern. When you are positive emotion, this is how your heart rate variability is. When you are in negative emotion, this is what is. We'll see tomorrow when we talk about energy system. We'll talk more about it. And why all this happen is all of us have noticed our brain waves silencing, right? Initially, they are very fast. When you are stressed out, the number of thoughts per second or number of cycles your brain waves happen is very high, 14 to 30 hertz. And as you close your eyes and begin equal breathing, slowly your brain becomes slower. You start relaxing. That is the relaxation stage of alpha, where your brain waves start beating much slower. And as you develop concentration on your breath, continuously observe your breath for longer times, your brain gets into the theta state and delta state. Absolutely calmer and deep calmer. Long-term meditators, yogis, mystics spend more time in delta. The same thing happens when you're in deep sleep. When you are proper deep sleep, you are in delta, theta, and delta. And that is where a lot of healing happens. Pain relief, healing, access to unconscious mind, creativity, deep relaxation. All these happen in theta and delta states. And like we saw earlier, the slower your brain states, the better are the hormones it releases, better are the neurochemicals it releases, which has an impact on different parts of our body. Right? So regular meditation takes us into deeper states of consciousness. And as the deeper you go, your body relaxes, your brain relaxes, it generates the right calming neurochemicals and make sure your body functions happen rightly. This is what happens when you move your energy from your thinking, analyzing, judging. That's what we say, no judgment. Part of your brain, which is your limbic brain, deep inside in the middle of our head between the two hemispheres. Then slowly that energy starts coming to the front of your head. And this is part of the bed. This is where our third eye is, some of you might know, that starts activating. So the energy starts coming to the front of your head. You're able to decide things better. Insight happens, intuition happens. This is the stage 4 or 5 yesterday with the benefits, right? Emotional regulation happens. Attuned communication, you'll start receiving messages, sudden insights on what to do, what not to do, right? So this is how the brain works. And there is a lot of research findings that are published. You can see a lot of books. This is a case study from the book Mind to Matter. So after 8 weeks of breath mindfulness, regular breath mindfulness meditation, these are the parts of the brain. They measured the biomarkers and neomarkers of a person over 8 weeks of breath mindfulness meditation. So it showed increase in brain response time, better memory, increase in cognitive powers, right? They also looked at EEG and the brain maps. And if you look at it, see, this is what I was mentioning. The higher increase in the part of the brain that's responsible for emotional regulation, decrease in amygdala and the middle brain, right? And then increase in other parts of the brain that allows you to get insight. More relaxed and energy efficient, changes in the brain in just 8 weeks. No drugs, no surgery, no supplements. Just life changes, leading life the right way, relaxing, and just mindfulness meditation. All right. So those are the changes that are brought about in our nervous system, in our body, in our heart, and in our brain, just through the practice of mindfulness meditation. All right, which is what we are doing today, and the session, which is what we are learning. All right. So with that, my dear friends, we did our practice. We learned wisdom behind it, and we also learned what the exercise for today is going to be. All right. So with that, we'll dive into questions for today. If anyone wants to share your experience, please raise the Zoom hand and you want to share your experience or ask your question. And I'll also take questions that are there on the chat window. Couldn't feel the breath much, but could feel the air flowing on the upper lip coming from the fan. Okay, that's also fine. You're able to feel the sensations. But as long as you're able to hold your attention there, you can, that's also good. You'll slowly feel the sensations. The music was choppy, therefore distracting. Your voice was very clear. Okay, so can we do music? I don't know whether the volume was, I don't know, did others feel the same way, or if everyone felt the same way, then something to do with my uh, music, or maybe the track that happened. Can meditation improve dementia and Alzheimer's? Uh, Probably, but I think there are studies that are done to it. May not, I mean, there are cases where some improvement might have happened, but I'm not aware of the case studies right now. It does impact brain. So there are studies that are being done. I think I know Nimhans, there was a doctor who was talking about some case studies that was uh, talking about the impact of meditation and yoga on schizophrenia patients. I'm not sure about dementia and Alzheimer's. Okay, so music was fine. All right, I will share. See the music links because I'm playing it from Spotify. It's called Yellow Brick Cinema, the album. You can find it on YouTube. I'll find the YouTube link and share so you can do that. All right, so any other questions, any other issues, you can always ask on the chat window on WhatsApp as well, because we're all in the WhatsApp group. Anytime I can clarify the doubts. Any other questions anybody have, please raise your Zoom hand. I'll ask you to speak. Otherwise, if you're done with your questions on the chat window, we'll probably be done for the day. Can we do this breathing exercise in sleep posture? Yes. As I said, just bring your awareness to your breathing when you're sleeping. So that's another antidote for lack of getting sleep immediately. As soon as you sleep, lie down, just bring your attention. You can do the equal breathing exercise, or start counting your breath. Slowly over time, even before you reach 20 or 30, you'll fall asleep. You can do that. Pineal gland, yes, they are deep science. Pineal gland, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about the chakras and nadis tomorrow. I think there is someone asking for the WhatsApp link, and when someone copy the WhatsApp link and paste it in the chat window, that'll help. All right, so with no more questions, so we will close the session for today. Again, one more question. As I concentrate on whole breathing process, feel like my eyeballs also moving along with it. Is it fine? Over time, it should slow down. It is not fine. If you're feeling it strained, stressful, then it's going to be a problem. If you're not, that is okay. But the key metric is continuous attention on your breath at one point. If you're able to do that in spite of all other things, then you're doing it the right way. All right. So wonderful, my dear friends. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day and see you tomorrow morning for another progress in our meditation session. Thank you.